Hello, hello, everybody who's definitely watching this. All my 532 viewers that I definitely have. Welcome back to the draw stream. I am going to go ahead and transition as well as unmute my desktop audio. Today I am joined by Leo, or Delt. Whichever he prefers.
Sometimes Delt, sometimes Leo. It really depends on who you meet me on which one's my dead name.
Hey, Darla, welcome to the stream. Good to see you.
Hey, I knew she'd be back.
Pretty sure I
How's she doing?
Screamed into my mic. I can actually hear you over the music. Good. Glad we got that rectified. Darla says hello to Leo.
Hi, how you doing? How's the ice cream business?
The ice cream business.
Yeah, I remember she said she wanted to get into ice cream. That's fine.
I want to get into ice cream. As in, I want to get into a big tub of ice cream. Right now
My
and
guy.
consume it all in one go. I want to become fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darla says, I'm doing good. How are you guys
Are you
doing?
gonna cheat? Are you gonna cheat on me with your friend Ben and your friend Jerry?
I have a friend named Ben. No friend named Jerry. Gotta work on that one. No, I was
Oh,
thinking
man.
of cheating on you with Jenny's. You know? You feel me? Anyway, to answer your question, Darla, I'm doing pretty good. It's been kind of a wild day, but other than that, you know, trucking along. How have you been, Leo?
The door salesman life is treating me rough, dude. It's my 10th day.
Growing pains.
I feel like I've made a mistake, but let's just chug along for the next 20 days of my contract, and then I can go fuck off.
It's a 20-day contract? Or was it like a month-long
30-day
contract?
contract.
30-day, gotcha. Interesting. I didn't know
Pretty
how...
much the only...
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason I went and did that, because I'm like, oh yeah, 30 days, that fits perfectly in my schedule to allow me to like earn a couple money, then go back to university.
You got this, Leo, says Darla in the chat.
I don't got this, but I gotta try.
You just think of the money. Just think of the payday.
Fucking Leo needs a new phone.
Dude, I might need a new phone. My Google Pixel has the green what is it? The neon green line going down the side of the screen. Very distracting. If I squeeze the sides of my phone enough, it goes away, but only for a little bit. So, either I get the screen repaired, or this is a sign the phone is slowly dying on me.
I'm enjoying a battery life of about 3 hours or 30 minutes if I'm doing anything fun with it. Kinda
Right.
sucks. Though I found a way to solve it. The phone has some sort of like hyper battery save option in which
Right.
like I can't see my wallpaper and I'm only allowed to use 6 apps at a time.
Oh, okay. I try not to have more than 2 apps open at a time on my phone.
Yeah, and I
Just out of
usually
principle.
don't, but there's just something about the fact of my smartphone basically turning into a glorified flip phone with only like 4 options and stuff like that just turns the battery life up to the 3 hours it was to a respectable 8 or 10 hours.
Sure. Are you like turning off Wi-Fi when you're not near any and turning off your Bluetooth? That can extend battery life pretty far too. Maybe the mode does that
Dude,
for you.
I go into airplane mode whenever I don't need to look at my phone.
Fair enough. Damn, I have a phone with a battery life of 10 seconds, says Darla. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you have to like carry around like a
So
battery, like a brick or something, a power brick, to charge it constantly?
yeah. So you have a spicy hot pocket in your bag at all times, waiting to just explode on you, huh?
That's what it sounds like. Honestly, with a battery life of 10 seconds, I'd check the I'd open up the phone and check the battery to make sure it's not like swelling or anything.
No, mine's swollen. Mine's like dew, you know?
Oh, yours is swollen even. That is terrifying because like if you let that go on, pretty sure the battery can just fucking explode on you.
Hey, I just needed to not burn a hole in my pocket for 20 more days. I'll
You
get something better.
do you only get paid at the end of the contract? Is that it?
Pretty much.
That is wow, that sucks.
It has a high turnover rate, like
Well,
there's
yeah.
a reason why it's like that.
Yeah, I mean that's fucking a 30-day contract. There's no way the turnover rate wouldn't be super high.
Yeah. There's been some benefits.
Well,
Mainly the
good.
fact that I'm touching grass
Yeah.
and talking to people. So I'm like speedrunning my way out of my social anxiety.
Hmm. Yeah, no better way to
Maybe it's
get
that
over it than
or
putting your
the
feet to the fire.
yeah, yeah. It's either that or the fact that being outside is worse now than being inside, so that like I just don't give a heck anymore.
He doesn't give a freaking heck.
I know, right?
I never opened up the phone. I don't know how it looks. I have a different phone now, but the phone I was talking about is dead. Like, forever, I think. Yeah, probably for the best.
You know what you must do with it, right? Throw it in the river.
Oh, yeah? Is that how you guys do it
Yeah.
down in South America? Just throw it into the river?
No, it's mainly just because it's a battery. It's yummy for the local wildlife.
It's yum. Yeah, I'm sure they're loving it. They can't get enough of those, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you know where to look, the only thing you're gonna poison is an invasive species of like goldfish. It's fine.
Man, I don't know what the goldfish did to you, but it must have been pretty bad if you're you're proactively trying to murder
Goldfish
them.
have done nothing wrong to me. It's just that I've seen how there's just ponds in America where like it's just like you can reach your hand out and pull like 5 fat goldfishes because like they have no natural predators there.
I suppose, but they're usually put there by people who want goldfish. And I don't even know if I don't know enough about fish to know if we're actually talking about goldfish or koi fish.
No,
I've never heard of somebody
they're just-
filling a pond
they're
with
just like-
goldfish.
No, it's not a pond of like goldfish. I'm talking like you know how in the city you just like flush one of those tiny crocodiles down the toilet.
And then there's a rumor about crocodiles in the sewers of New York. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah. And then you get and then you get the Midwestern version, which is like throw the goldfish in the pond, and then you get like big ass goldfish
As someone
just
who lives in
eating
the
up everything
Midwest,
and
I have
raining.
never heard this. Like, I think the most we have to deal with in terms of invasive species are, like, locusts. But that's because there's a lot of
Oh,
crop
so you have
farming
the
here.
plague.
Something like that, yeah. A plague. From time to time. Wait, no,
Yeah.
but the goldfish could mutate and become even harder to kill than they are now. That's true. The goldfish could, if Darwin is to be believed, the goldfish could mutate into, humanoid creatures, humanoid bipeds, and then we would have to go to war for the survival of the human race against the goldfish people. There's a book about that.
I'd be
It's called
down.
Shadow over Innsmouth.
Yeah. It all started in the 1920s when someone when someone threw a no, actually when a truck of goldfish like flipped over and the
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
they
God.
fell into like a vat of like radioactive acid or something, like they're a Batman villain.
Yeah.
It's starting to seem a lot
And like every
fishmen.
DC story, for some reason there's a god about it, so then you get Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's true. I love my funny stories about eldritch Lovecraftian horrors driving people insane.
Yeah.
Is it bad I never actually read a Lovecraft book?
We all know what Lovecraft is about just from cultural osmosis.
Yeah, yeah. I read
Though
Chamberlain.
it's been a little bit filtered.
Or Chambers. Not Chamberlain, Chambers.
It is a little bit filtered because everyone filters out all the fucked up racist shit.
I don't think they do. Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess if you're doing like a modern retelling. But it's like every time I talk about Lovecraft, that like immediately comes up. Every time. So it's like everybody's aware of it, but any media inspired by Lovecraft never seems to tap into that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess there's still a lot of cultural taboos that we will not cross. We will not involve ourselves with.
I just think they'd rather not open up that can of tentacles.
Yeah, the Cthulhu thing is cool and all, but the racism is really what killed it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess what H.P. Lovecraft should have done is made it about the racism, like To Kill a Mockingbird or Huckleberry Finn, you know? Or maybe he did, and he just came at it from the wrong direction or something. Again, I've never read Lovecraft.
The racism, dude. Like, literally, his writing style is, I do not understand it, and it was explained to me, and it sounded fucking horrifying, and I'm a nervous wreck of a person. I'm gonna, write about how uncomfortable this makes me feel.
Yeah, but that's like a common thing. I don't know how. I guess it is racism, so there's a lot of touchiness to the subject there. inherently. So
Like, dude was even scared about the idea of air conditioning. He made a whole horror story about a dude who was like a living dead person, and then his AC unit like broke down, and then he just started rotting.
that's kind of epic. I'd read the
Yeah.
shit out of that. I don't know. I guess I need to dive into Lovecraft. Tumble head
Yeah.
first. I was trying to get into Herbert. I was trying to read Dune and really soak that one in, but it is I don't know. It failed to capture my imagination.
Did it go religion bad a little too hard for you?
I mean, obviously I don't agree with the way you would portray the way religion was portrayed. But usually that doesn't obliterate my interest in a story. I think it was just like a little too... It was a little too Game of Thrones for me. You know, if you can't sell me on the political intrigue from the get-go, then I'm not gonna stay for it, you know? That book is like 90% political intrigue and 10% philosophical musings. The goldfish are gonna rise. True. They really are the snack that stabs your back.
Hey, if you're gonna draw something, and you want it to be like complex and stuff, you gotta make like a fusion of everything we've been talking about. So we're gonna need like goldfish sand people from Dune.
Goldfish sand people. Oh my god.
From Dune.
Lovecraft
Yeah.
is rolling in his grave.
And le racism.
Le racism.
No, actually not. Let's not get demonetized.
You draw them like they're a depiction of black people in a late 90s to early 2000s anime.
Oh no.
Listen, I'm not opposed to playing with fire, okay? That's gonna be hard. I'm already thinking about ideas to make racist goldfish sand people from Dune. Yeah, it's very, very imagination capturing, isn't it? It's like, ooh, I have an opportunity to produce a train wreck that no one will be able to look away from. Do I let the inner voices win? Do I let them win?
Apparently the inner voices is just me, because I'm the one coming up with these ideas.
Yeah,
I'm
you're the
crazy like
idea.
that.
You're the ideas guy. If I get in trouble for it, I can always just put it on my funny South American friend. Can always blame you for for the things that people
It's
people
fine.
can't
I'll
stomach.
find a way to blame myself.
Going to give their deadpan eyes such glimmer it will captivate everyone. Leo, that is why you're my goat dog. Damn, I didn't realize he was a goat dog. Now there's an evocative image.
There we go.
How does it feel, Leo, being described as a pagan deity?
with like a goat head and dog legs. And I am the goat dog of goldfish racism.
The coat
I think
dog.
that's fine. That's great.
Dude, no. We have fun here. It's called we do a modicum of trolling.
We do act a little silly around these parts.
We get jiggy with it. That's like my favorite turn of phrase either. Well, okay, I shouldn't say favorite. That's why commas are so important. Real.
Oh my god. Yeah, I do not speak with proper punctuation.
I like how Darla attempted to put a sobbing emoji, but the first try ended up just being a bar of soap. That's kind of special. It's kind of special in a way.
What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that? Are you trying to say that this stream is stinky?
Needs a bit of a wash. Do not comment on that. Every stream's a stinker when I'm here.
This guy.
What can I say? My gamer gunk precedes me, okay? Precedes me? Precedes me.
Do not. Do not start the gamer gunk. Oh.
Listen, some people would call this aura, okay? Some people would describe this as aura, and that has a positive connotation, so I will be hearing none of that from anybody.
Bro, if this is aura, you're like a super stinker too.
Take a shower. You guys got massive aura, queasy face.
That's good. That's good. Oh man. I can't believe the whole stream is crusty.
No. Oh, the encrustification of YouTube streaming. We will be remembered as the forefathers of it. I kid. There's probably crustier streamers on here than us.
Like, listen. We are a long ways off from dethroning the king. We must duel Asmongold to the death in Roblox.
Does Asmongold stream on YouTube? I thought he was a Twitch streamer, but I could be wrong.
I would be surprised if he doesn't run like a whole thing where like he streams on both platforms at the same time. He just pays attention to Twitch.
So nasty, dude. Yeah, we should probably shift the conversation to something a little more palatable. But I'm having too much fun, so.
No, it's fine. I think we should move the conversation. Otherwise, we're gonna get some lore the stream is not ready for yet.
Whatever reputation we thought we were going to build here we can just kiss those dreams goodbye. They will remain
We have
just dreams.
shit the bed, now we must lie in it.
We can clean these sheets. It's
All
fine.
right.
It'll come out. Listen, they're white sheets. We can just bleach them, okay? It'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
The mattress is stained with our sins.
Oh my god. New mattress, I guess. Leo, I love your quotes.
I think we should maybe just burn the whole house down.
My favorite Leo quote is "What the cheese."
Que el queso.
I think "What the cheese" is
And it's
probably my
funny
favorite
because
turn of phrase ever.
You.
Hmm?
And it's funny because it came from you. I've never said the what
Yeah.
the cheese.
Yeah.
You didn't really want him to say it.
Oh man. Dude, you're spitting straight fire. Darla's loving the bars.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I slinging mozzarella in here?
You are slinging mozzarella, sir. You're slinging so...
Forget about bars. We're slinging cheese sticks in here.
Dude, I could go for some mozzarella sticks. I probably shouldn't. I'm gonna get fat. But I really want some mozzarella sticks right now.
This guy wants Ben and Jerry's. No, sorry, Jenny.
I'm a hungry boy, okay? I'm not necessarily growing, but my stomach hasn't, like, shrank or anything.
Hmm.
I don't know. I do think I should
Ah,
transition to a job that has me on my feet more. It was probably like the one good thing that came out of working at a retail place was that I was always on my feet. Like I was probably doing upwards of 20,000 steps a day. Which is really crazy to think about because now I average maybe 5,000.
Just inside of a store, you're doing 20,000 steps?
To be fair, it was a big store. It was like the only micro center in the city. Micro Center is already like a really popular store. But yeah, I mean, I think we were the biggest location in the state too. So there was that. And
I see.
I was constantly, like, I probably did over 100 laps of the store every day.
Fair enough.
Low key, my fat ass has a tub of ice cream that I'm letting no one else touch. Well,
Yeah.
be careful. There are people who will kill for tubs of ice cream. You're gonna have to defend it with your life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't usually eat a whole lot of ice cream. Mainly because I used to be pretty lactose intolerant, so I kind of got out of the habit of eating dairy products.
Right now, I'm lactose indifferent.
Yeah.
You know.
I've matured.
I know it's bad for me, but sometimes, some days, I'll just take the head.
Butter pecan ice cream. Butter pecan is pretty good. I'm getting attacked by people in their mid-50s. That is a terrifying thought. Like, mid-50s is...
Yeah?
They're not... They're old enough to, like, be bigger than you, but they're, like, not quite old enough to be fragile yet. So... Yeah, getting attacked by somebody in their mid-50s is kind of terrifying.
That is true, but they are old enough to like have lost a lot of stamina, so you gotta drag out the round.
That is true, and if they're fighting you for ice cream, they're probably not in the best shape of their lives.
Yeah, like
probably not doing too hot on that scale.
Just jog the other way on like a brisk pace, and they won't be able to like catch up with you.
Well, I think the problem is,
they're 50s, they're not fragile, but their knees are gonna start hurting.
Sure, but I think the main issue you have to be on the lookout is that while ice cream is a very easily transported good, it typically needs to stay in one place for prolonged periods of time, right? It's a resource you have to have like a specific location for, and so you have the disadvantage of constantly having to fortify the position rather than taking the ice cream with you and keeping it, I guess, a reasonable distance away so that they cannot catch up.
You could rig up a whole saw trap around your ice cream.
You could, but then you run out of resources, and once you run out of resources, the ice cream is vulnerable. And how are you gonna keep the ice cream away from you? Dude, what if I spike the ice cream, though? Well, poisoning the well is always an option, but it's usually looked down upon, because once you poison the well, not only can your enemies not claim the well, but also you cannot use the well for whatever you needed it for. So, in terms of ice cream, like, do you want to poison the ice cream? I imagine you also want to consume the ice cream. So...
Clearly you're gonna have to start microdosing on like snake venom.
That's true. If you're immune to the poison with which you spiked the ice cream, then there is no downside. Well, aside from possible murder charges, I imagine... it's not... It would be very difficult to get the court on your side with that one. I spiked the ice cream because I didn't want anybody to have it. Maybe you could invoke the castle doctrine on that one. I'm not entirely sure what the legal logistics of that would look like.
Nah, man, the courts really, really hate when you booby trap shit.
It also probably depends on where you live, because not every state has the castle doctrine, and most countries don't really have an equivalent.
Self-defense in some countries is just, hey, I know a policeman. If I kill a guy, I can tell him, hey, they were in my home. And they'll make the charges disappear.
Yeah, I mean, you just need an army of your own...
Maybe.
Your own 50-year-olds that you pay an extra ice cream to guard your ice cream from the 50-year-olds you don't want getting into your ice cream. Which sounds counterintuitive, but this is actually like it's actually probably the most foolproof method of safe keeping your ice cream. Because, you know, once you offer someone like a stable, I guess, infusion of ice cream, they're going to be more likely to not betray you to get to the ice cream Because then once they eat the ice cream, they're not going to get any more ice cream. But if they've got a, you know, a reliable source of ice cream because you're paying them an ice cream to guard the ice cream, then it works out for everybody. I'll have extra tubs and make them play Saw-like games for the ice cream. Like, if they want it, they gotta choose a cup of ice cream. If they pick the wrong one, well, low-key sucks for them, but I get my ice cream. I mean, that's kind of like paying people to safeguard your ice cream with ice cream. Like, there's an offer of ice cream, and it doesn't matter if they choose the wrong cup, now they have a cup of ice cream that fulfills the desire for ice cream.
Well, you could use the... You could use that method, you know? Turn them against each other, but think about it. Think about the enemy you're tackling, right?
Mm-hmm.
50-year-olds are not good with technology. Just password, like, lock in.
You'd be surprised.
They won't be able to figure it out.
My dad's like 65 years old. Well, he's older than that now, but you know, he's over 60, and he could definitely crack a password. Like, he knows computers well enough to do that. So, you would have to be guarding.
He's the exception, not the rule.
You would have to be guarding your ice cream against some pretty inept 50-year-olds. Which I guess if you roll the dice enough isn't an issue, but like, again, I'm not totally aware of the circumstances, so. Yeah, but they choose the wrong one. They go, oh, I see, you poisoned the ice cream. Yeah, but that's just murder, right? Especially if you dress up the game as, like, here's some ice cream. You guys like ice cream, right? It might just be enough to say, okay, I have 3 tubs of ice cream. 2 of them are poisoned. Good luck. And then just poison all 3 of the tubs. Well, no, I guess it depends on how desperate they are for the ice cream, you know? There's a lot of... There's a lot of unknown variables I'm trying to work off of here. Too many, in fact.
Actually, I think I have the perfect plan, and it's a bit sad that I didn't come up with this, because it's a very common thing here. Just play the long con. You're gonna have the tubs of ice cream. Make sure that they are the non-transparent ones, and you're gonna fill them with freeze refried beans, right? So you're gonna have tubs of beans in your freezer for about 2-3 weeks, and they'll get the message. They won't check them anymore, and then you can swap them with the actual ice cream.
That is an interesting solution. There is no logic here. This is a hypothetical. Well, you can still be logical about a hypothetical. I guess it's easier to not be logical about the hypothetical, but you know, I wanted to entertain it. Leo, you're a genius. Okay, it seems like Darla's sold on the beans idea. I don't know, would the beans stop them from attacking you, though? Because it's like, they want ice cream, and they think you have ice cream. Even if when they open the tubs, it's just beans. Would that stop them from attacking you, do you think? These are very intellectual conversations we have here on stream. Okay, I think I can live with that, the way this is coming out. I might get my ass shot dead, but at least I'll get a good laugh at it. I suppose, yeah. I mean, maybe I'm just not super clear on what the goal is here. Like, I'd figured ultimately the goal is to keep the 50-year-olds away from your ice cream, as well as living long enough to enjoy the ice cream that you spent so long trying to protect. But if this is like a long-term thing where it's like you want your progeny to have access to this ice cream long after you're gone, perhaps the sacrifice is worth it. But then again, I don't know, you know, like, if you sacrifice yourself before you have a chance to, you know, have progeny, then it's like, what really were you fighting for? These are very important questions. Fundamental to the, to solidifying a goal. I'm really winging it with these inks. This is kind of crazy and all over the place. Why are you talking like I'm gonna be the sole guardian of the singular tub of ice cream for all eternity? Well, no, it's... You don't plan for things, like, long-term. You plan for them... Well, I guess it would be long-term, but you don't plan things for for eternity. It's more that you're planning stuff for a long-term, like a long-term solution. Like, this is something that's gonna work
Darla.
for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren.
No, Darla. Darla, you must hold the dairy lines. We die on the Ben and Jerry's hill.
To be fair, Ben and Jerry's
go
isn't
to
even all that
war.
good. But then again, I can't really think of an ice cream brand I would die for. So maybe I don't really have a dog in this fight. Why does everything I do here look
I
wrong?
would die for flavors, but not brands.
I don't know, the arm looks like it's too small. But I can't tell if it's the actual arm or if it's the foreshortening that I've done to the arm, so... I guess the wrist would look bigger than the actual muscle here. That's probably where I'm going wrong with it.
I'm definitely, in my next game, I'm definitely putting a knight whose sole job is to defend the last tub of ice cream of a long dead king.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach my children, their children, and many generations to come the ways of protecting the butter pecan ice cream tubs. And then she thanked you for something, but I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, obviously you gotta come up with a solid way to actually protect the ice cream, but once you do, then you can pass it on as generational knowledge. And once it's generational knowledge, you know, that stuff lasts forever. That's your lasting mark on the world right there. The secret to protecting butter pecan ice cream.
Well, until like one of your progeny is the rebellious, rambunctious kind, and they open the tub of butter pecan, and then they get poisoned by the snake venom you put decades ago.
That would be tragic, but fitting for those who would tempt fate in such ways.
Yeah. By the way, I find it funny that in each and every example, I picture that you have stomach ulcers, just as having mouth sores or stomach ulcers are the only way to like really die from drinking snake venom. Still wouldn't recommend because you're gambling with things you can't see.
I suppose. I guess it would depend on the venom too, and the potency. I was about to make a bad joke. I'm terrified at the prospect of what that joke could have been, but I suppose as long as you didn't make it, we're all gonna be fine.
Crisis of burden.
There are times that I wonder, though. No juice. No dice. I am getting a little thirsty, though, so I might take a break here in a minute. Go get some nourishing water.
Oh man, but if you do that, I cannot get some nourishing water myself. I was thinking about that just right now.
Well, go before I do.
Great. Goodbye, Darla.
He's gone. Leo's dead now. It was nice knowing him, though. I wonder if he would have preferred Leo or Delt on his tombstone. It's times like these, I should probably have something like a eulogy prepared, just in case one of my cast members dies on stream. But since I don't, I guess I'll have to wing it. Goodbye, Leo. You were a good friend and just a bundle of joy to be around. You gave yourself a lot of shit, but you were definitely one of my favorite people. And I loved your funny accent. May God rest his soul. Amen. That's my eulogy. That would be the eulogy I gave. You know, it's concise, right? And I figure it's probably better to be poetic and concise than verbose and clumsy. I don't know. Shit brought me to tears. It's the way Leo would have wanted it. Okay, he wouldn't want us to dwell too long. He would much prefer we say our piece and then move forward. It's truly it's what Leo would have wanted. Maybe. I don't actually know. Because I didn't ask him. It sucks when people die on you, and you don't get to ask them what they would prefer from you after they die. Like, if you don't get that chance. Like, imagine if your friend died and you didn't know what kind of music they wanted at their funeral. It's like, how do you respect the dead in that scenario? It's like, yeah, the AC/DC song was his favorite, you know. Bad to the Bone was like his favorite song, but I don't know, is it appropriate to play it at the funeral? Is that what he would have wanted? I can assume, but if I'm wrong, you know, what happens then? I don't want to, like...
Which song is the one that goes like, it's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Oh, shit. 1 week since you looked at me. I can't remember the name of the song, because I've only listened to the song through the mashup. I've never actually
Yeah, of course, you only...
I give my life to suit your mood.
Neil Cicierega is the best that has ever happened to, like, everything, but, you know, play that one at my funeral.
Maybe, I think the name of the song was just Smooth. That sounds correct. Anyway. I really liked the mashup he did with Smooth and Orinoco Flow. That one was really good. He'd probably be preferred to be called Delt, but we still calling him Leo. Also, welcome back from the dead, Leo. We were talking about what you would want us to refer to you, / play at your funeral, / I don't know, just general post-mortem wishes. Oh, did he die again? That is unfortunate. Well, if he can cheat death once, I'm sure he can do it again. He's probably got the ability to pull that off twice. There's at least a non-zero chance, I would assume. But maybe I shouldn't assume. Because assuming is what got us on this conversation in the first place. But honestly, it's probably his fault more for dying than it is mine for assuming. Wilted Rose ×2. Glad you specified. If it had, I don't think it would carry the same emotional impact if it was just one Wilted Rose, you know. I wouldn't know how torn up you were about this with just one Wilted Rose emoji. There we go. There we go. Use that damn rose 11 times in an hour, dude. I'm sure somebody explained it to me on a previous stream about what the rose meant, but I, like, kind of forgot. I feel like see it used in so many different contexts that it's really hard to reason out what the intention behind the rose is through context clues, because it's so, I don't know if it actually is a versatile emoji, but it's used as if it were a very versatile emoji. So that alone confounds me. Oh, right, this is supposed to be... Okay. Alright, I remember now. Yeah, I didn't really convey this very well through the sketch. I don't even know how to explain the tone. Maybe it was like a I feel dead inside kind of thing. That's kind of how I first interpreted it. But over time I've seen it used in a bunch of different contexts. Yeah, it's one of those things where if you know, you know. And I never seem to know, so I guess I'm just gonna have to get used to not knowing.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
sorry for the wait.
Oh my god, he's back from the dead. Let's
You can now
freaking go. I told you.
Yeah.
See, I told you guys. You know, you cheat death once, it's basically a skill you never unlearn. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you back, buddy. I was afraid I would have to deliver another eulogy. I'm not very good at those.
Well, you know. I'm like Orpheus, you know, prancing around the underworld.
Darla is very excited at your return.
Let's go. You know, I had an intrusive thought.
Uh-oh.
What if Darla is just Bredo on an alt account? That'd be the longest fucking con.
I wouldn't put it past Bredo. I would feel pretty bad though if it turned out to be Bredo. Because then it's like, oh no, that one loyal viewer I thought I had, it was actually just Bredo. There's nothing against Bredo on that front, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe there is something against Bredo on that front. Maybe I just hate Bredo. I had not considered.
There we go, let's go. You felt that?
I heard it from a distance, but it wasn't as loud as it usually is, so.
The 9 p.m. Vibrator. On the dot.
Uses it so often that it's on a schedule. Just an absolutely foul joke.
Listen, dude, I'm a busy guy. I need to unwind.
Yeah, the more you play into it, the more cursed it gets.
I know. I couldn't hold it. I will commit to the worst bits. It'll be me 5 years in the future, like somehow getting recommended this stream and being like, holy fucking shit. I have a
I
wife and
said that.
kids. I said all this shit. What the fuck was I doing?
Well, I mean that's only if they're able to identify you by your voice and I guess online username,
My guy.
which ideally they
I'm the
shouldn't be able
only
to.
guy who speaks like me.
Maybe just move to a place where, or better yet, just marry a woman who can't speak English.
Damn. He's asking me to marry someone from my own country. Unheard of.
No. That's not what I'm saying at all.
You know what? You're right. I should go to Vietnam.
Yeah. The Vietnamese don't speak English. Or at least most of them don't. Actually, I don't know what percentage of the Vietnamese speak English and what percent don't, but you're more likely to find somebody who doesn't... The point was that you could find people who don't speak English outside of your country. Marry a woman who can't speak English. I mean, as long as she can speak Spanish fairly well, she will understand Leo, right? So it's okay. And Leo in his native tongue might, he might have more... I shouldn't say he might have more riz. Like, Leo is definitely the sexiest English speaker I know.
Damn straight. No. Well, it depends. But mainly, with all due respect, I just have too many years of applying heavy filters to my Spanish vocabulary that speaking to strangers is a bit of a fucking train wreck. But hey, that's why the door salesman job is there for. Crash course therapy.
I hope that's not how you're using it. I feel like therapy's the wrong way to go.
No, I'm not using it like that. I really need the money for the phone, dude.
Well, go get that bread, Mr.
I'm just trying to come up with... Yeah, I'm just trying to come up with, like, good positive things about the job, so I don't focus about how I don't really want to do the job.
Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. We are once again drawing bricks. Why get a woman when he has you?
Weren't you gonna get some water?
I was going to get some water. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. Go get hydrated.
I think the problem is that Leo and I can't produce a child together, and that would be the biggest hurdle. I think that would be like...
That sounds like protocol.
Reason number one for why you would go for a woman over me.
You don't know that. We haven't tried hard enough.
Leo, there's some things about our private life that I really don't want Stream to know about, okay? I would appreciate it if you maintain some kind of privacy while I'm doing this. But yes, I'm gonna go get water.
Was I not supposed to tell them that we've been trying?
It's a little embarrassing, okay? I'm gonna go get some water. Leo, you entertain Darla while I'm gone. That is your penance.
You say that like it's not gonna be a piece of cake. Oh fuck. I don't have access to the chat. What the fuck am I gonna do? I guess I'm just gonna talk to myself and pretend like I can read Darla. At the end of the day, I cannot read. That's fine. It's real good. I feel like a stand-up comedian that's like about to bomb at any moment. Hell, I might be bombing right now. But that's fine. You wanna know why? Because all I need to do is laugh at my own jokes. At the end of the day, all my material, I'm doing it for me. If I get a chuckle out of someone else, that's already a plus. That's the Leo inspirational quote of the day. Is he alive? Maybe. Is he trying to say something from beyond the grave? Yoo-hoo, king. Yeah, he's gonna take a while.
And I return.
Oh man,
It's a me.
he's back. What did Darla say? I don't have access to the chat, dude.
Leo, don't choke, please. Lamau, you use YouTube. I will still respond. Kamikaze at the next stand-up comedy. It will be mind-blowing. Fuck. Leo, you're very wise. In that order, I suppose.
Yeah. That's between Darla and me. I
mean,
completely understand.
It's all on stream.
It's all on stream, baby.
I could just
It's
go
on
back
the
and
internet. And
watch
take it
it.
back.
It's true. That is true. I need to fix something real quick.
Oh man. But yeah, no, I was alone. It was not a conversation. It really felt like me being in front of a stage for just a tiny bit. So I was like, I feel like a stand-up comedian that's about to bomb any second now. But that's fine,
Naturally.
because all the material I have is for myself.
That would explain the kamikaze.
Getting a chuckle out of someone, that's a plus.
Bro, first you have to go get water, then I have to go get water. Now Darla has to go get water. This is crazy.
Oh my god. It's spreading!
Alright, glove on. Art. Getting drawered. I don't know, I didn't really have one for that.
Glove on. It's a Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. Or as I like to call it, Thursday.
Dude.
I still don't understand the appeal of those memes.
Oh man, oh no.
What? What happened?
I made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
I took a long, hard look at the calendar and I was like, ooh, that's one too many days. Yeah. Oof.
I've been there. Dude, it was the worst thing ever. I went to work one day and I was like, Man, I'm so glad it is Friday, and it was a Tuesday. I have never felt worse about anything in my life than that moment.
Well, listen. You know what? You know why is that?
Welcome back, Darla. What
You know
happened?
what? You
I'm
know why that
revealing
happened to you?
my deep darkest secrets
It
to
was
you.
because your weekend felt like Monday and Tuesday.
Maybe. I don't actually remember my weekend that well. This was like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But, like, the feeling is fresh in my mind. It was just like, oh yeah, I love Friday. And then it was like, you realize it's like the beginning of the week, right? It's like, kill me, please. Unfortunately, there was no killing, and I am still here. So, owie. Bro, did they sample Squidward's fucking stepping or something for this track? Was that like a... I heard in the audio? Yeah, there it is again. That is absolutely Leo's. Shit. Dealt, buddy. I'm losing my mind.
You can do it, buddy.
I'm having a...
Alright, let's take a step back.
Dude, it is... Okay,
You're
it
talking
is so
about
distracting.
the octopus from SpongeBob.
Yeah, the Squidward step sound effect in this song is so distracting. I can't form a coherent thought.
Yeah?
Darla hears it. Darla knows where I'm coming from.
Is this a thing from you? Like, are you into Squidward's feet?
Have you ever had octopus tentacle? Or like octopus at all? It's actually kind of good. It's kind of yummy.
Not gonna lie, the opportunities I may have had in the past to maybe try octopus was my phase in life where I was very picky with what I ate.
I
Mainly, if it looked weird, I didn't want to eat it.
Oh, I see.
In tentacles, yeah,
Typically
they
look pretty
were
weird,
on the
yeah.
weirder side. Yeah.
I mean, I worked for a guy who,
If I had to,
Go ahead.
you first.
No, I can wait. Go ahead.
If I had to like eat shrimp, the like like crawdads,
Mm-hmm.
in which like it's like whole and you just open it and like and you eat them.
Yeah.
If that was the case, then yeah, I would also had disliked shrimp, but because they clean it up, make it look pretty first, I really didn't mind.
That's fair. I worked for a guy who's like a super picky eater, and we would like DoorDash food sometimes, right? And he'd be like, "Yeah, I want a burger, but like I just want the patty, the cheese, and the bun." I remember thinking, like, at that point, just like, I don't know, get some of those frozen burgers and pack your own burger. Like, you're saving, they're still charging you for the full price of the burger, despite it not having any of the, like, toppings. So you would save so much money, and it wouldn't taste any different if you just got like a thing of frozen burgers, like fried them at home the night before and just brought those with you to work with the cheese and the bun. Like this man probably spent like $100 on fast food, probably more than $100, but like close to $100 on fast food a month, and got maybe 50% of what is of his money's worth each time. And that bothered me.
Yeah. Were you like, please, for the love of God, can I get his toppings on the side?
Well, I mean, it would have ruined the food because the portion sizes are the way they are so that you're not getting too much of one thing. Like no one flavor is overpowering the burger. So if I had his a month, excuse me, what? It was probably closer to like $200 a month because we would DoorDash the food quite frequently. But it's like, if I got the stuff on the side, it would just be like, okay, I have this, I guess, mini salad now that I can eat with my burger. And that didn't sound super appetizing.
Yeah. I bet they would charge extra too.
Maybe, yeah. Cook a meal, dog? That's too much money. I mean, the guy was pretty well off, so maybe he just did not care about losing all that money, but like, as someone who also came from a decently well-off family, it's like, that is such a waste.
Well,
very,
I can say for sure. I can say for sure that I don't see myself eating outside, mainly because I'm broke like that. But if I did have the money, it would be for one or two reasons. And honestly, the first reason is probably gonna come up so often that people are gonna hit me like, you really like eating outside? And my reply to that is, no, I'm just a dumbass who forgot his food at home.
I like eating out.
Yeah.
Probably too much. But I've cut back recently to save money. So I don't do it as often now. Which has actually made it nicer to eat out. Because I don't get sick of the food that I'm eating. Because I don't have it all the time.
It feels special.
I don't know if I'd say it feels special. I just appreciate it more.
Motherfucker, that's what I said.
Well, no. It's not the same thing, okay? Although I don't really know how I would classify feels special. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that I appreciate things that are special. I feel like they kind of live in their own, those classifications live in their own worlds. Probably should have taken a shower today. Maybe I really am the stinker. I guess I could try and get up early
At the end of the day, Darla was right to post the soap emoji.
Come on, I don't get that stinky.
Man,
Man.
whatever you say.
Yeah, I got those funny Asian genes where, like, body odor's not really a thing. I mean, it can definitely become a thing, but, the dirt and the grime has to really get kicked out on there. It's not like a natural thing. My job's not super dirty, okay? Starting to think you don't believe me. It's starting to bother me. You gotta believe me, okay? I'm telling the truth.
I don't believe you.
I'm gonna die. I take it Darla doesn't believe me either, given that the response was a sickly emoji. I love bricks. I love them so much.
Yeah. So, what's up, buddy?
Bricks, the usual.
Yeah. That's how it is.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I just love bricks so much. They're like my favorite thing ever.
I guess that's just your thing, and I gotta accept you for it.
I mean, you don't have to. But if you don't feel strongly about it, one way or the other, that's fine too.
There's only like a handful of things I feel strongly one way or the other.
I feel strongly about a great deal of things. Great many things.
You know what I fucking hate?
What do you
That
fucking
dog
hate?
right there.
Oh.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. The hate only manifests when she's barking at 9:30.
I think that's reasonable.
Because it's like you had all fucking day to bark, and you bark at night. Come on. Get with the program.
Yeah. You know, I haven't heard my dog bark at anything in a long while, and I don't know if that's troubling or not. Like, he's getting old. He's got a bunch of medical problems. I'm starting to worry about him a little bit. I don't really know what I'm gonna... like, how I'm gonna react when he's gone, you know? It's a bit of a morbid thing to think about.
I can tell you probably the best thing you can do right now, and it's just spoil the fuck out of that dog. Like, we're talking treats, extra attention.
Yeah, and I do what I can with him. He's still fairly energetic too. It's just, I don't know, he had a lot of usual behaviors and he's not really displaying them anymore. I don't know if that's a sign of anything.
Mm-hmm. It might be a sign of many things. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, a little bit.
No fucking shot.
I do some thinking from time to time, okay?
No, sorry. I just saw a post that apparently they paid Conan, and I'm talking like the TV show host.
O'Brien, yeah.
Has moved $2 million to play a little bit of Borderlands 4
Yeah.
for a promotional video, and it crashed.
Crashed? Crashed how?
Yeah, like the game crashed during a promotional video.
Oh, that's kind of funny. Did they leave it in at the very least? I mean, I guess they must have left it in because
they left it in
because we know about it. Yeah.
I mean, when you like throw too much money at something, and that something only has like maybe 1 or 2 takes because it's expensive,
Yeah.
you're gonna leave it in if it came out wrong.
That is. Yeah, I wish I was a fly on the wall of that decision room. It's like, I don't know, guys. The game crashed. People are gonna make fun of us on the internet. It's gonna be a travesty. Do we risk running it because we can't afford to just redo the shoot?
Or even better, okay, so you're a fly on the wall, and the executives are like, shut it down, 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 and the other guy is like, nah man, you paid us to make a video, lol amount.
Yeah. It's hard because it's like, yeah, they probably had something baked into the contract, so it's like, oh no, we don't want you to show this. This is gonna reflect badly on our game. And the Conan producers are like, actually the contract says right here we can use whatever we want. And because we're a comedy show and the game crashing during a promotional video is fucking hilarious, we are going to keep that in and you're just gonna have to live with it.
You're gonna have to hold that L.
Which, I mean, you could probably, if Borderlands 3 hadn't existed, you could probably take that with a certain amount of grace and it not affect the sales of the game at all. But Borderlands 3 exists, so I guess they're just fucked. I think it's just over for them.
Yeah.
You really can't come back from that.
And it's real funny too, cause like they were like doing pretty good, cause like Right, so they come up with Borderlands 1, and like some people play the video game, gives them enough money to make Borderlands 2. That shit skyrockets. Like, it skyrocketed so hard that that my first introduction to it was a TV advertisement in Venezuela. Like,
That's pretty impressive.
you gotta have like, yeah, you gotta have like a lot of reach to like hit me like that.
Yeah.
And then the pre-sequel, while not getting to the level of Borderlands 2, because clearly impossible, it did pretty okay. Like, we're talking 7, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Um,
I heard it was pretty good anyway.
then the people that cared about the story found the Telltale game to be really good.
Yeah.
And then they released Borderlands 3.
Yeah, that one didn't go over so well.
It's like, oof. And gameplay issues I don't care aside, literally everyone and their mother went like, we fucking hate the story. And that's the reason why people don't like the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those looter shooter games where it's like the story is kind of what makes the game. Like, it's a make or break type of deal. So if you get a lackluster story,
Well, the deal with Borderlands is, if the campaign is enjoyable, people are gonna run it multiple times, right?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I've only played Borderlands 2 the one time. And that was when I decided I was not the biggest fan.
It's fine. You're not good at video games anyways.
I mean, I wasn't expecting anything like Halo quality, so it wasn't that I was disappointed, it's just that it's not wasn't the game for me.
Yeah, it's fun. Listen, dude. Had you met me like 10 years ago, I would be trying to find ways to like deliver all sorts of like explosive paraphernalia.
Yeah. You would be insulting
like
my
right
mother
now, like,
right now, my grandmother.
Yeah.
You scorch earth.
Yeah, I think my favorite like Spain ism is the fact that when they're like really mad at you, they are whole ass going to tell you that I'm gonna shit on your dead. Like, I'm gonna go to the graveyard, find your find your ancestors, and I'm just gonna pop a squad right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's some dedication.
They'll never make good on it, but they'll make you know, they'll make it known that that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never gotten into an argument with a Spaniard, so the closest I think I've gotten is with you, and I mean, I don't know how much Spanish blood runs through those veins of yours.
Yeah.
Probably enough to make
I
tequila tolerable, right?
I couldn't say. Never had tequila, but I do have an affinity towards rum.
Rum is pretty good. I hate tequila, dude. That shit sucks.
Yeah.
Which is, like, strange, because I like vodka, and that's, like, kind of in the same vein.
You see, it's funny because when yeah, like technically speaking, Mexicans are like the oddball of Latin America.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because of uh because of their proximity to the states, they're also like the more widespread of the say communities that people have like a cultural awareness of.
Yeah. This is true.
Like my guy, I don't give I don't give much about spicy food. It's whatever. You know?
Yeah. But I guess the stereotype is all you guys eat spicy food.
But that's you Mexicans because they're crazy.
For sure.
Uh-huh.
I think there's also the aspect of Texas has been kind of a massive cultural touchstone for the US, and they were part of Mexico at one point. So they had a lot of, I guess, ties to Mexican culture, and then when we annexed them, those ties kind of bled over, crept up from the south.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that here, especially like food wise. Culturally, I don't think anything really passed on. But I could be wrong about that. I'm not super well versed on the history of it all.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's alright. Then again, I've never had Tex-Mex food.
I'm a big fan of Tex-Mex food. I'm a fan of authentic Mexican food. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I'm a sucker for that Taco Bell. You know, when they put the meat and the cheese, and the lettuce and the hard shell, and they said, "Fuck you, the hard shell is now Doritos." Like, that's peak. That's Americana right there.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay. All right.
You know what I don't understand?
What don't you understand?
Why the hell would you put rice on burritos?
Because it's tasty?
Right.
Are you saying that because
But
there's
like
already
genuinely, the only
like the
reason
tortillas already
the
there?
only reason why I could think of maybe rice should be in a burrito is because like the fillings are like really like soupy, and that rice is going to like soak up all of that stuff. But other than that, it's just carbs on a carb, and it's like, oh yeah, let's enjoy my hell. I don't know, like pasta sandwich. Oh no, wait, there's yakisoba pan.
Yep. Although I think
Oh my god, I
yakisoba is.
forgot
I
about
think
that.
yakisoba is a little lighter on the carbohydrate thing.
I mean, yeah, but it's still at the end of the day, it's just a pasta sandwich.
Suppose that's true. Can't really argue that. Here in the U.S., we're not exactly averse to overloading our food with carbs. You can kind of tell by the size of our people. The average
Listen,
size.
I'm okay. I'm okay with overloading on carbs. Like that's fine. But you don't overload carbs by putting multiple types of carbs on your food. It just feels wrong.
I mean, I do that quite often, actually. Especially
By the
during the
way,
winter, it's really nice during
Carbs
the
in
winter.
the way. Carbs like fries and so like potatoes and beans, they don't count. Okay?
Well, why don't
So
they?
let's start with that.
Why is it only rice and bread, huh?
Because I said rice bread and pasta.
Yeah,
Never
why
mind what
is
I
it?
was about to say.
Right, but why only those three, huh? Why did the potatoes not count?
Cause potatoes go with everything.
Okay. I don't think your issue is that you're combining carbs. I think your issue is that you're combining certain food groups that you personally would find distasteful.
I think rice on a burrito is heretical, even though I'm not Mexican. I don't know why I feel so strongly about it,
But don't let me stop you.
but I do.
I will absolutely question the notion.
Yeah.
All this talk about carbohydrates has made me hungry. I kind of want some yakisoba pan now. Some yakisoba pan. Yum yum yum. Oishii, as they say.
Yeah. Dang.
I want to do the classic spend a month in Japan thing where you weigh yourself before and then you weigh yourself after.
Uh-huh.
Not that I'm particularly in need of any weight loss. I think I'm still like around 120 pounds. Which is probably just below the recommended BMI for someone who is 5'6".
I mean, if you like eating out, then I don't know about you, man, but I think you would get fat in Japan.
Well, I think the main reason why people lose so much weight in Japan is A, there's less preservatives in the food. So the food, you're not, like, your digestive system isn't fighting to digest the food in Japan, right? But also, if you don't have the international driver's license and the money to rent a car, you're gonna spend a lot of time in Japan on foot. Even if you're taking public transportation.
Oh well, fair enough.
So yeah, your caloric intake may go up a little bit, but you're definitely burning a lot more than what you would usually do in the US. Unless you lived in a particularly
You might.
walkable city.
I'm just thinking that like if you get like really into like pork cutlet or karage, that you might have a
Yeah.
problem.
I mean, I imagine you wouldn't, like, just be eating street food your entire time there.
Yeah, of course not.
And I mean, unless it was winter, you wouldn't go super heavy on, like, you wouldn't go super heavy on those types of foods. If it was winter, and you went heavy on those foods, the cold is probably gonna burn most of that fat anyway, so. I don't know, it's a well-documented phenomenon, of people going to, like, Europe or Asia, and, like, if they spend a prolonged period of time there, they end up shedding a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
I imagine it's not, like, as dramatic as I'm probably making it seem, but it's notable, if nothing else.
I mean, no, I get it. And well, there's a couple of things that would also aid with that. Um, I mean, sugary drinks and can get you fat real quick.
Yeah.
And the US just like adding way more sugar than it needs.
Oh yeah. And it's like the sugar alternatives, like the different sweeteners we have here, are even, like, worse. So not only do they taste bad, but the chemical compounds have a tendency to slow down metabolism. So now you're not even processing that much of the actual nutrients, and way more of the carbs are getting stored as fat, as opposed to being readily burned. But yeah, the amount of sugar we put in things is kind of absurd.
Yeah.
And again, there's things we could do to offset all of that we just don't. So it's partially on the fact that we don't have a whole lot of regulations, and partially on the fact that we haven't really cultivated a society keen on healthy activity.
It all started with the fact that y'all don't have enough trains. And then
Maybe, but I mean, you're sitting around on a train.
yeah, but you gotta walk over there to the station.
I suppose, but
Way more exercise than getting in your car.
I mean, tell that to the people who live out in the sticks. It's like, yeah, I think the car is just, it's more practical in those scenarios.
Oh no, definitely. I'm not gonna put it past them.
Like, cars are actually less practical in most cities in Europe.
Yeah, you're better off with like a bike.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. This is coming together real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta show it to me soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say watch the stream, but obviously your current internet situation doesn't support that. But you can always revisit the stream. You know, I leave them up on the channel. So if you ever want to see what the progress looked like, you can like click on a video and skip around a bunch. What I really need to do though is tap into that Twitter market, right? I need to start posting the results of streams on Twitter or something. It's just kind of weird trying to build like I guess a social media presence. You don't really think about it when you see other people do it, but there's a bunch of unspoken rules around making things seem natural. Or maybe there's no rules and I'm just hallucinating these rules. But I think, I don't know, I think a lot of it's probably engineered. Like there's probably a lot of thought put into how people manage their socials to maximize, you know, engagement and stuff like that I'm just not privy to because I'm just starting out. But I do think to some degree there's an etiquette that I'm not aware of that I need to learn. Maybe the best way to do that is just through pure trial and error, but I don't know. It seems so daunting. Seems like something I have to work myself up to. Which is a problem, because if I'm content with that answer, it just means I'm going to put it off for as long as I possibly can. Even if I am successful, the success will come very slowly because I just sat on my ass. Instead of putting in the work, you know? I don't know, it's a complicated issue. I haven't really organized my thoughts on that one. Feel like I didn't. These need to go a little bit lower. Hooey mama, as they say. Who they is, I don't really know. I just repeat what they say because I heard it once and it made me laugh. That's just kind of how I justify those things. It makes me laugh. It's something I'll end up repeating. Okay, I don't think that's correct. Actually, I think I'm just gonna try this again. we run it back from the top. Actually, maybe it would look more like this anyway. That I think I can live with. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Trying to think of a good topic for conversation. I really should start writing down topics just in case. Because it's kind of hard to think of a topic for discussion right off the top of my head when I'm actively working on something. But if you get me going on a topic, I definitely don't shut up about it. So regardless of what I'm doing. Even if I'm not super well spoken on it, I will just keep talking forever. I know I was in some kind of conversation earlier that I thought was super interesting and I wanted to talk more about it, but I can't actually remember the topic of conversation, which is frustrating, but I mean, it'll come to me eventually. I was just hoping it would come to me sooner. But frequent viewers of the stream will know, as well as people who just know me in general, will know that I have a tendency to wax philosophical about tabletop RPGs and their mechanics. And this is mainly because I really like playing tabletop RPGs, but it's also become more of a recent thing because I'm in a lot of servers now, a lot of Discord servers that talk about that, and just game design in general. I find it a very fascinating topic, just because there's a wealth of information on it. I disagree with most of it. And that's typically how most my my autistic fixations go. It's like I find something, I enjoy something, and then I discover what the general public thinks about that thing, and I find that the discourse around it is so completely different from my own thoughts. It's like everybody else seems to be on the same wavelength, roughly, in terms of design, and I personally just don't agree with any of it. That's an interesting spot to be in, because not having disagreeing with the popular, like the consensus of something, kind of gets you labeled pretty quickly as a contrarian. So it becomes a little difficult to argue with people on certain topics, because they will readily dismiss whatever you have to say with you being contrarian. And you kind of have to get used to you kind of have to get used to us not being taken very seriously. Not like you have to be okay with giving an opinion on something and then it not being taken seriously, because the assumption from the get-go is you're just saying, not that you actually believe what you're saying, but you're saying it because it is an unpopular belief. So I've grown accustomed to this, even before I was someone who spurged out a lot about stuff like tabletop games. But all that to say, it's something I enjoy talking about. Okay, I thought I just erased part of the sketch layer, as though I was accidentally working on the sketch layer again. But yeah, I tend to have like a lot of these very unpopular opinions about things, which is strange because it's almost like the fact that they're unpopular fuels my passion for arguing them. If I have a very bog standard opinion on something, you're probably not going to see me in the trenches really discussing it. This is kind of like a weird personality trait that I've always possessed. Or I guess this is just how I think of my personality trait. But it's like if I'm talking with somebody and I agree with them, we both agree, then like the conversation becomes dull and uninteresting. And at least to me. So it's like I can talk to somebody that I agree with for a certain period of time, but with somebody I disagree with, I can argue with until I'm blue in the face. And maybe that's a problem. Maybe that's something I shouldn't be doing. But it's something I enjoy, and I very rarely does it get to a point where like I'm doing it and the person I'm doing it, the two of us leave with bitter tastes in our mouth from each other. Like I think overall I'm pretty good about I guess not taking it to the extreme. But I like a bit of banter back and forth. I like it when I can vehemently disagree with someone. And I enjoy talking shit and rabble rousing. So it's it's kind of just in my nature to, if somebody's talking about something and I agree with them, like maybe I'll chime in to say that I agree with them and talk for a little bit, but if I disagree with them, then I'm much more engaged in the conversation. So just by virtue of that, I do a lot of, talk and shop about game design, about video games. Obviously, I think I have a lot of worthwhile opinions, regardless of how many people actually agree with that sentiment, of which there's probably very few, granted. But, I enjoy mulling these things over. I enjoy getting into arguments and stuff like that. Especially if they're like low stakes and I can really speak my mind about things without too much worry of alienating people in the discussion. But I do really like game design, and I have a lot of strong opinions about it. And I think, like, earlier today, I was watching this conversation kind of unfold. And obviously they're talking about tabletop RPGs, so it had something to do with the design of that. I think it was along the lines of handling, not just, like, health and whatnot, but, I guess, like, balancing was the core takeaway from the discussion. And it was, it's the regular stuff. Some guy is asking for advice from his peers about, doing weapon balancing or the like. And I remember just reading the discussion and thinking, like, well, I think I said it out loud too. But my thought process was, you're so focused on all this balance work. Like, you want to give your player a weapon, let's say. You're focusing on all this, like, balancing the weapon so that later on in the game you don't regret giving them this thing. Because it becomes like this instant problem solver for them, and now your game is ruined because you can't work around this item that you've given them. So in order to avoid that scenario, you spend all this time balancing a weapon to the point where the weapon is, like, no longer usable. You've overcorrected, and now, after all that time spent balancing, you have a weapon that does not serve really any purpose other than being an option for the sake of being an option. And I pointed this out because the design philosophy around it seems super flawed. It's like, you're going to give a player something interesting, right? Then you want them to want the thing that you're giving them. You want them to enjoy using it. You don't want it to be this, like, choice that is ultimately empty because it comes with a benefit and a drawback, but the drawback outweighs the benefit because you were so focused on balancing it that you forgot that maybe something unbalanced would actually give the player a sense of enjoyment. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Obviously I wasn't super hostile about it, but I did make mention of, like, hey, if you design a weapon this way, you are literally wasting your time, because nobody's going to take the weapon. Nobody's going to want that weapon unless it's specific to somebody's character. Like, you don't want to design generally. You want to design as specifically as possible. again, because like if you're in an RPG, if you're running a tabletop role-playing game, the it's not like something that's scripted or prescriptive, I guess I'd say, because it's not a game that's ruled by like, I guess, concrete rules. Like, the rules are designed to be flexible because the game evolves during play, as opposed to a video game where things are, you know, there's maybe a little openness, but things are mostly bound within a set of restrictions that players can't go outside of at all. But because the tabletop games run off of player imagination, you have far fewer restrictions, so there's no reason not to design game elements around your players as they progress, you know, as they play the game. So it felt kind of weird. I think the example was, like, the guy was trying to come up with interesting ways to make weaponry, custom weaponry for the characters, and, you know, his example was a big sword that does like an unreasonable amount of damage, right? But that was too overpowered, because if you're doing unreasonable amounts of damage every time you hit, you're clearing encounters super quickly. And for some reason, this is a bad thing in tabletop games. Encounters are supposed to be, you know, they're supposed to be challenging, and they're supposed to last them a certain amount of time, because the GM can only pre-plan so much in a game. Which is another thing I disagree on, but that's kind of besides the point. So, you know, the idea was to make the sword that does a lot of damage completely unwieldy. So maybe you get away with a couple swings, but most of the time you are swinging and missing. And it's just kind of like, it's super character dependent, because for starters, the only character that's going to take this is a character who's more interested in, I guess, the sword's gimmick than they are in actually dealing the absurd amount of damage. Because if you wanted to deal damage consistently, if your goal was to clear the encounters efficiently, that was how your character plays, you know, how the character interacts with the system, or just how the character views combat in general, then it would make more sense that they just stick with whatever weapon they have, or they take an option that's going to consistently deal less damage than an option that's going to maybe deal like a whole bunch of damage, but very rarely, because it's so difficult to actually hit with the weapon. So it felt like a weapon that was designed for a very specific character, as opposed to something that was designed to be, like, you know, well balanced. Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna give your characters weapons, right, special weapons, and have them progress by getting stronger equipment in that sense, you've got to play it to the character, right? They're gonna take the option, like, depending on the character, they're gonna take the best options available, as opposed to, like, the more gimmicky stuff. If they're playing a character that's more interested in the gimmicky stuff, then you design the gimmicky stuff for the character, as opposed to pre-designing all of these different pieces of equipment for characters that might be in the game, right? You don't want to prescribe the kinds of gear that you're going to give your characters from the outset. That's just something you develop naturally as the game progresses. So there's two kind of conflicting philosophies that I'm going off of when I talk about this. The first one being the GM should not put a lot of work on a lot of pre-planning work on their plate. Ultimately, you should be relying on your players to drive the story forward, because your players should be playing characters, and characters in any good story are often very intrinsically motivated to get things done. You know, there's a bit of extrinsic motivation at play, but ultimately the story is how the characters act and how the world reacts. And I get that not everybody plays tabletop games in that way, but I think it's a more coherent system of play. I guess that comes down to personal preference, and you know, that's just my opinion type stuff. But the game is more compelling if the world sort of adapts to the players, as opposed to the players doing stuff and then getting like a pre-generated loot that sure has been custom designed by the GM, but not for anything in particular. Rather, what the GM was it's more of like the GM as a game designer trying to hedge his or her bets on what players are going to respond well with, or you know, what they might want from their gear, as opposed to, you know, adjusting to what the current players are and what would make sense for their characters. Because that more personalized style of giving equipment to your players is a little more interesting than just like pre-generated options for play styles that you're trying to predict your players will I guess have, right? And this gets into all different manner of game design philosophies that I'm pulling from, but it like that's one of the bigger pet peeves. I think in terms of like other game design philosophies that it runs afoul of, at least in my mind, is balanced weapons aren't fun. Like, if you're gonna give your players weapons throughout to kind of mark their progression through a story, that's perfectly fine. I understand the thought process and philosophy behind that, but it's like, if you spend all that time designing them with like trying to balance them, then it's like, what are you really giving your players? You know, you could say it's a side grade that will change how the player characters, I guess, play. You know, it'll change the style of play, maybe. You could make an argument for that. And if that's what your players want, then maybe, you know, maybe that's just a good thing wholesale. But it's, I don't know, if your players have designed their character a certain way and they don't feel like their character should change the way they function mechanically because of how they've made their character, you know, just based off of, I don't know, whatever character arc they're going for, then giving them like this balanced weapon seems a little contrived, and it's gonna suck when you've spent all this time designing this weapon and your player that you were trying to give it to just rejects it outright. So it'll be a lot of wasted time and effort. And that's, you know, maybe that's not a problem for some GMs, but like I can definitely see that being a problem for me, you know, spending, again, it's a misuse of time, I suppose. I would feel pretty bad about it just on principle that I don't have a lot of time to prep for games, which is why I usually do very limited prep. But then, like, okay, I spent extra time prepping this thing, and it's, you know, it's not getting any use whatsoever. And then I guess there was a third philosophy, and that was if a player wants a weapon, they should have the freedom to make the weapon at the outset, like to give their character that weapon on the outset. Because again, you know, if you're talking about balance and what's fun in terms of balance, stuff that's unbalanced is a lot of fun for players, you know. Sometimes they get that power trip, but sometimes it just makes sense for the character. I think it's more important to have like to have that, to hold that character stuff sacrosanct, as opposed to worrying about game balance. Because the idea is to have fun, not so much to, I guess, restrict player freedom. But with something like a sword that does a lot of damage, but very inconsistently, you know, is very difficult to swing. That sounds like something you would come up with as a player at character creation, not something you just earn out of the blue during a campaign and then have to, like, say, no, actually, I don't want this because it's useless. So it's a very different way of thinking. And most people will say, like, well, no, I want to come up with, you know, I've got, like, all these different ideas for stuff, and I want to put them in my game. And then just, like, give my players the opportunity to experiment with them. I suppose that's fine, but if you're trying to tell a collaborative story, it feels like you're doing all this extra work, and it's going to start getting in the way of the story. Because as opposed to spending your time really thinking about, I guess, your players' characters and how they interact with the world, you are instead designing a bunch of gear that they could possibly run into. And you're devoting resources that maybe would be better spent on the players you have, as opposed to devoting resources that are being spent on potential players at the risk of neglecting the ones you currently have. And I see as I explain that aloud, right? I see how that would potentially be a very unpopular opinion, because it works in video games. That's how video games are designed. And if it works for video games, I don't know, you know, why wouldn't it work for RPGs? And again, it comes down to philosophies on what what a tabletop RPG is, how it exists, what exactly it means, what exactly the conventions of the medium mean. And RPGs borrow a lot of things from video games in the first place, so it's not unreasonable to try to design your systems, like a video game. But at some point you have to come to the logical conclusion that if you're not taking advantage of what the medium has to offer, and you're just trying to use it to emulate a different medium, it's like, why exactly are you making a tabletop system and not a video game? So it becomes an issue of just having to justify your designs beyond the design itself for the game, because you have to answer these bigger questions. Or maybe you don't have to answer these questions at all and you can just ignore it. I'm being completely retarded here. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. I just say things, man. But yeah. Maybe I'll have a more, I guess, concrete topic. What I want to talk about. Maybe I'll start doing like note cards or something. Have like a text document on the side of like with a list of topics I could go over. For future streams. That might be a good idea. Oh, my mouth is so dry. Okay, I've got a couple panels left on this page, and I want to get this page done tonight. So, I guess it's time to lock in, guys. Time to really focus up here. Something that's been really bothering me of late. I think this is an interesting topic for conversation. But it's like, I have a group of friends that I know in real life. And it was kind of one of those things where it's like, we became friends circumstantially. And what I mean by this is, like, we were working together, so it was beneficial to get along with people because we were working together, and not getting along with your coworkers just makes the job harder. So I was friends with these people by virtue of, I thought it was important to get along with them at the time. But I have since left that job, and though I maintained contact with them, over time, it's become more and more apparent to me that I might not actually like these people, or at the very least, I might not actually like some of these people. And so it's been kind of a constant question at the back of my mind. It's like, do I maintain this relationship with these people because, maybe it's like a package deal, I guess. Like, the people I do like, I kind of have to get along with the people I don't like in order to maintain some kind of relationship with the group on a whole. But it's like, does having to be around the people I don't like worth it, you know? Do I like the people I do I like them enough to hang around the more distasteful individuals? But there was a recent event that really got me questioning this, because of the way these people acted. I found particularly egregious. I guess the appropriate term for it would be repulsive. Like, it was such a vitriolic reaction to something that I'm not sure if I can ignore it. I'm not sure if I can just ignore the fact that I saw these people act this way. I don't know if I can, in good conscience, associate with them. And it's not even because I think they're particularly bad people or anything like that. But I don't know. It's behavior that I'm not gonna say that I'm not comfortable with. It's behavior that I don't want to engage with. You know, I don't want to call people who behave this way my friends. And I don't know. It's a recent thing. It's a very recent thing. I'm not super sure of how I want to handle it, or how I'll even feel about it in like 2 days or a week. Or even how I should handle, like, if should I confront them on the behavior that I find distasteful? Would that benefit me in any way? Would it benefit them in any way? There's a lot of questions I need to really think hard on and ask myself. But what it really comes down to is, I think this is a universal truth. You are your friends. You will eventually become like the people you associate yourself with in that way. And what I saw was something I don't want to become. It was like this piercing flavor of cynicism that repulsed me in a way. Such a visceral way that it was like, it really got me questioning why I was there, you know, what value I saw in these people. Which is a strange way to put it, but I really was questioning why I would associate myself with them. So I've been struggling with that a little bit personally. Not to get super not to go super in depth with it. But I don't know. I have there's personal commitments I have with some of these people where it would be like, okay, if I cut them off, I'm jeopardizing somebody else's hard work, right? That's not a good feeling. But it's, is it really worth maintaining the commitment with these people, even if I like some of them? So I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of thinking that I have to do. I'm not super excited about it, but coming into the stream today, it was nice having Leo jump in just immediately. I'd have somebody to talk to right away, because it got my mind off of it a little bit. Because it sucks. I don't have the largest circle of friends ever, especially not people, I have, I hate to call it community, but like people I have strong community with that aren't, like a tight knit group of friends, or like family members, that kind of thing. It's tough. It's kind of difficult to make friends as you get older, so but in that same vein, they were an established group when I met them. This isn't like these aren't relationships I put like a whole lot of time and effort into. So there's no real sense of loss if I decide it's not worth it anymore to hang out with them. But I don't know, I don't like the idea of having to cut people that I like off, just because there's a few people I don't like that they hang out with regularly. But it really does feel like sticking around them is not a good idea. I don't know. Maybe I'm a coward. Maybe this is cowardice for not being direct with them about their behavior. And maybe that's the route I should go. But I've never been a huge fan of like an outsider jumping into a pre-established group and then making demands, right? I think it would be far better for me to just say, like, I'm no longer, I don't fit in with this group. I don't think I fit in very well with this group. I'm going to take off. Have a good one. I don't really feel like it's my place to police their behavior, however foul and disgusting I find it. And if I tried, it would be a futile it would be a futile prospect by virtue of I'm not really a staple member of the group. I was more of an outsider kind of deal. So it's not like me making demands is really gonna amount to much. And I wouldn't announce it or anything with the expectation that, oh yeah, they're, the threat of me leaving is for sure enough to sway their minds and get them to alter their behavior. I don't want to come off like I'm making demands or anything. So I think like the best thing to do is probably just tell them I don't fit in with their group. In like the least Karen way I could possibly do it. Because in the grand scheme of things, you know, whether I'm friends with them or not is probably not a big deal. And I don't know that this will have to be like a cost-benefit analysis that I do on my own, but I don't feel what I stand to lose by not being in, you know, by excusing myself from the friend group is by any means greater than what I stand to lose by continuing to ignore this behavior and not, you know, not hang out with them or whatever, or continue to hang out with them in spite of these developments. But I won't get into specifics. I don't want to get super personal with it. Just me kind of thinking out loud. Oh, Leo is still in the voice chat with me. Buddy, are you there? If you are there, I cannot hear you. Alright, well, it could be any manner of things, so I'm not gonna press it. Is that a snore? Chat, I think he fell asleep. I guess my voice was just so soothing, guys. Start pouring out my heart and soul to my good friend Delt. And he's snoozing away over there. That'll be the first. That'll be a first. Snoozing on live. Okay, is that enough bricks? I think that's enough bricks, guys. At least for that panel, because I'm gonna have to do more bricks right here for this panel. But first, let's draw this guy's face and make it not look derpy. It's nice hearing you ramble, not gonna lie. It's a nice background sound. I hope this doesn't sound weird. No, you're all good. You're all good. I'm glad that my ramblings aren't annoying. I think my biggest, whatchamacallit, my biggest, I don't want to say anxiety, because I don't think that would be accurate, but I guess from my perspective, I think my biggest shortcoming is that I have this tendency to just ramble incomplete thoughts and not really make a whole lot of sense when I do it. And that can be kind of frustrating to sit down and listen to for a long time, but I mean, if it's no big deal to you, then I guess it's no big deal to me. I do like to listen to my own streams. This is gonna sound super narcissistic and weird, but I like to I like to listen to the streams the day after. I'll be at work, and you know, 3 hours is like not even half a day of working, and so I'll just listen to a whole stream and like kind of take mental notes of, you know, the things I could do better for audio balancing and stuff like that. But it is fun, and I retain much more of like the conversations I have when listening to them again. than actually having them live on stream, which is kind of funny. And especially on streams where there's like multiple people talking, I get a chance to go back through and catch things I missed the first time. You know, because I was live and wasn't totally paying attention. So stuff like that's kind of cool. Yeah. I wouldn't even mind if it's like my rambling that's putting people to sleep. Like, honestly, it's better because if you fall asleep, you can't click off the stream, which means YouTube thinks you're watching all the way through. Which, if I'm correct in this assertion, granted I don't know I am, but I imagine it helps my analytics, and if it helps my analytics enough, YouTube will start to think, hey, this guy, you know, maybe this guy's building traction. Maybe we can promote his streams more. I don't know if that's actually how it works. If I had to guess, I'm probably not on the point. I'm not on point with that estimation, but a guy can dream, alright? I can dream about the way I would want things to be run. And in this case, the way I want things to run, I want them that way because they would almost exclusively benefit me. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying stuff. I think the biggest problem with solo streaming, though, doing these solo streams where it's just me for an extended period of time, is that I'm not always... I don't know if it's because I haven't built this skill yet, or it's just because I'm not actually cut out for this. I guess we'll find out in due time. But I have days where it's like I just can't talk on stream. I just can't do it. Like, I can go for maybe a few minutes, but then, you know, I run out of steam and I just sit here quietly working. Maybe that's something everybody goes through when they're starting out, but for me it's just like, oh man. The Monday stream was a little rough, but I think the Saturday stream before it last week was super tough. Because I just was not interested in having any kind of conversation that night. I could not tell you why. I genuinely could not tell you why. But I think the important thing is that when I get like that, I make sure to tough it out, to stick it out. Even if the stream's not so enjoyable. I think it's important to struggle through stuff like that, because otherwise you're never gonna... If it is a skill that needs to be developed, you're never gonna develop it by, you know, not working past the rough parts. And that's experience I've gotten through drawing, you know? I don't think I'm a particularly good artist, but compared to where I was like a year ago even, I think I'm doing way better. And the reason I'm doing way better is because when it was tough and it was annoying and I felt like I couldn't draw anything right, nothing was coming out the way I wanted it, you know, I didn't stop. I kept going. It's not like a one-to-one comparison, because I knew drawing was a skill. I was very aware that this was a skill that needed to be developed, as opposed to something that is just a binary, either you can do it or you can't. With the stream stuff, interacting on stream, trying to keep a constant dialogue when it's just you, that kind of stuff, I never actually, like, to this day, I don't know. This is kind of the proof of concept to see whether or not it is a skill I can develop. So, I'm taking shots out in the dark right now, hoping that maybe as time progresses, I'll get good at it. And I'm optimistic, you know, I think it probably is a skill. It certainly fits the patterns of similar skills I've tried to develop before. Especially when with the peaks and troughs of troughs? I think it's troughs. With the peaks and troughs of, you know, developing a skill. Certainly feels like it's one that I can develop further, but there's still a bit of uncertainty. I'm not 100% confident this is something I can, you know, I will ever get accustomed to. You know, and if not, I'll have to find a way to work around it. And that will be its own puzzle for me to solve. Or I just give up, but that's, you know, not really going for that option, not really gunning for that one. Though I guess it's might be one of those things where it's like, what is my end goal here, you know? Am I trying to get famous from my streams? Or am I just trying to bring attention to my work or that kind of stuff? You know, I haven't really figured that one out, and maybe that lack of direction is why this is such a struggle in the first place. But I don't know, there's a lot of variables to think about, and I can think about them later, okay? I can revisit this at a later date. Everything in due time. I think a good goal would probably be to maybe get partnered. Not partnered, but maybe to get monetized on YouTube. Have that be the goal. And then, you know, if I stick with it long enough to get monetized, to reach that first goal, then do something else. Or set a new goal, yeah. Figure out where I want to go from there. I don't know, I haven't really seen a whole lot of... I can't think of a specific YouTuber that started with streaming and then got big from there. Most of the time it's somebody who did like videos or something and then they transitioned to streaming very naturally. You know, because the videos gave them an audience, and then the streams sort of pulled in the audience, the already existing audience, as opposed to building a completely new one from the ground up. Excuse me. All this talking is making me thirsty. And rightfully so. I'm hearing movement.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Leo is back.
Hello, hello.
Did you fall asleep?
Maybe.
Called it.
Maybe I just had some things to figure out.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Maybe a little bit of both.
I was having some very profound ramblings that you missed out on.
Oh man. But those are my favorite.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have had them while you were still with us. But,
Definitely.
you know, you put me alone with my thoughts for too long. It becomes an existential nightmare.
Yeah.
We are coming up on 3 hours, though. I probably won't stop the stream until I've finished inking this page. But that's just a little heads up. But I'm probably gonna start wrapping up soon. Especially because I don't think I have a whole lot left to do on this page in terms of inking. But, you know, always good to know that my sultry voice can put my friends to sleep. Might end up being a special tool that will come in handy later. I'm gonna kidnap somebody, but instead of using like a chloroform rag, I'm just gonna talk at them for an hour.
You wouldn't.
Apparently I would, because I spent, well, at best it was 20 minutes of just me talking to myself. But maybe longer, I don't know. I guess my perspective on time is a bit skewed by the fact that I am insane in the
There we go.
The vibrator is back, baby.
Of course.
Bro said,
Want to
no
wrap up.
vibes. Time to vibe. My favorite thing to do ever is when somebody uses like the modern colloquial form of the word vibe. I repeat back what they say to me. What they said, but instead of saying vibe, I say vibration. So,
oh man.
Yeah. It's funny because all of a sudden they have a negative reaction. It's like, but that's the meaning of the word that you just used. Like, that's the full word. Why is it suddenly suddenly making you uncomfortable? I mean, I know why. But it is very funny.
Standard, huh?
I don't know. I just don't like the word. And I think I have a pretty good case for not liking the word. Especially because when I do that trick, you know, even if it's just a moment, the person usually agrees with me. I think we also need to start using jives more often. I think jive is a good one. Vibe? No. Jive? Yeah. Because jive is evocative of, like, you know, dancing. You know? Like a kind of laid-back dance. Something you would see at, like, some awkward nerdy kid doing at a, you know, like a fall formal or something. Yeah, I will say you sound tired as shit, my guy. If you want to turn in, you know, don't let me keep you.
I would definitely enjoy that, Ria.
Okay. Yeah,
Especially because, yeah, I gotta get ready for tomorrow.
yeah. I don't want to keep you up. I don't want to keep the working man up. He's gotta get up bright and early and sell doors.
Yeah. Simple as.
Simple as.
Alrighty there, King. Alrighty there, friends and Darla. I'm turning in for the night.
Yep. Thanks for coming to the stream, buddy. Always happy to have you.
Always a pleasure.
Have a good night.
Good night.
So we're a little over time, but that's okay. I'm almost done here, so you know what? Let's go ahead and get fancy with it. Let's do a little perspective ruler to end off the night. Now, yeah, it's looking like it needs to be 2-point perspective. Perspective. Ha 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 ha. But the 2 points need to be rotated on their side. So, I don't remember which one that is. I think... Oh, yeah. Okay. There it is. Excellent. Vanishing point number 1 is going to go all the way up here. And it is going to control... Whoa. It's going to control the... things here. So, actually, maybe it's going to be a little closer. It's going to be a little closer down here. Do I want it that? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That works. And then this one's going to be further down here. Yeah, I think it's going to go... way down. I think we want it to go way down. Yeah, that seems close to what I had initially sketched out, so that's what we're gonna do. Give me my pen tool. Which ink layer am I operating with? Actually, why do I have so many ink layers? Oh, I see. I did his face on a separate layer. And then, okay, yeah. That should be good. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the butt later. I don't know. I think I need to make this guy's head smaller. Or his body bigger. Whichever is more convenient. Probably the head. But for now, I do yet another new layer. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot to set this up. Yes, I might be a little dumb. A little silly. Nuts. And bolts. Okay. I wanted this to be like that, so there. Gotta restructure this whole thing now. So that my stuff is the way I want it. Which means this comes up a little closer. And that gets in correctly. Nice. Okay. Yeah, this should work out. Go back to the layer I made for this, and continue. Perhaps I should double it up. Well, honestly, I should just make guides. Yeah, actually, that might be better. So let's go ahead and do, like, guides, and then... Yeah, this way I can ink it in by hand. And it'll look natural, but also be in the correct perspective, which is what we want. And then I guess I can shift it down. I don't really have to be too particular about it. Oh, yes. And then I'm gonna need these lines here. Yeah, this is good. And that follows, and this follows. Whew. Trying to think of one last topic to end off the night. Nothing crazy is coming to mind, though. Might just be me mumbling about the comic from here on out. Mumbling about drawing the comic. Might be a deal breaker for some people. But I don't care, it's my stream. I'm the streamer boy. Oh yeah, 11:10. You know what? Maybe we call it here, because I am getting kind of sleepy. I do have work tomorrow. And I can definitely finish this pretty quickly off stream, but I would prefer not to lose a whole lot of sleep doing this. Especially because of how freaking tired I was at work today. So, getting to bed a little earlier might be a good idea. So with that, I would like to thank all of my viewers, past, present, and future, for showing up to the stream. Thank you, Darla, for hanging out with me and Delt in the chat. Always a pleasure to have you. Stream tomorrow. Game night. I'm not sure what we're doing for game night. My intention is always to do Black Ops 3 for game night, because I want to get... Like, Phil bought the game just to play it, and he has not been able to for the last 2 game nights. Due to whatever circumstances. But, yeah, if he's not available tomorrow... If he's not available tomorrow. I'll think of something else on the fly. And we'll find out. But yeah, thanks Starla for hanging out. Yeah, tomorrow's game night. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm gonna get some sleep. And I will see you all hopefully tomorrow. God willing and the creek don't rise, as they say. Ciao.